Hello, hello. This is for JM. First, we're looking into your current relationship. You thought you were married to your soulmate and in a loving relationship until 2022 when he cheated on you. What can we know about that happening? I'm sorry that happened. Eight of Swords, the Sun reversed, Page of Wands. Interesting. So this is a clear message of like, I feel very trapped and I'm not sure what to do. This is not a you problem. This is a problem that your partner was having with themselves. This is like, I'm looking for happiness in all the wrong places and being in a victim mindset. And Page of Wands is like a very childish, I want to go on an adventure. I want to distract myself from feeling like I'm trapped. I would say this is not something that you caused this person to want to do. And I'm not just saying that to make you feel better. Yeah, this person was struggling with their own commitment. It's like not, again, this would be commitment, so it's in reverse. It's not something that's coming from you and causing this person to act this way. This is like, I feel unhappy with myself and I'm looking for those answers in all the wrong places. As in your partner. What I want to know is, should I leave or should I stay? Leave, the Magician. Stay, Knight of Cups, and energy between the Star. Strength in reverse. It feels like the ball is in your court here. With the Magician, it feels like you're scared that you might not be able to get it together or find the situation that is right for you if you do walk away. But this is telling us that you don't have to settle for a path. You have the ability and the power to create the path that you want to see. The Knight of Cups coming up for stay. Could you stay? Yes. Can it be fixed? Yes. But your partner needs to learn to love themselves, and you need to make sure that if you stay, it's not you staying and talking yourself out of self-love to drop yourself down to a level of something that you don't deserve. So to me, this is saying, especially with the Star for the energy between, this is like public. So there's stuff that needs to be talked out between the two of you and not swept under the rug if you do decide to stay. Do I see that staying is a possibility? It is, but again, the ball is in your court, but you also need your partner to meet you halfway here. Because if your partner is not going to be willing to align with self-love, and as I said, you need your partner to meet you halfway, my throat just clogged. It feels like your partner is not still expressing to you what really made them make that decision. And until they do, it feels like you're going to struggle with constantly going back and forth. Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? And this here is, being that this is upright, you can stay and make it work if and only if both of you are aligned with self-love. Because if one of you is misaligned in terms of self-love, it's not necessarily that that's going to happen again, but it's not going to necessarily get better because the root cause of that trauma happening in the first place has not been addressed. And the Star, and then my throat clogging, there's something that's being held back and not expressed about it, and until it does, it's going to feel like you're trying to like wade in very deep water that you could drown in at any moment if your feet stop kicking, type of thing. So until, yeah, Knight of Swords reverse and the Chariot, two opposing forces working together, this is like a lack of getting the message across. So until you can come together and get that message across, it's going to be kind of up in the air, and you're going to continuously question yourself if you should stay or go. Is there a potential for this to work? Yes. The Tower reversed and Four of Wands reversed. Is there a potential for it? Yes. Is it going in that direction right now? No, because the conversation has not been had yet. The Tower here makes me feel like you literally need to rip the rug out from underneath of you and both see what you've been putting under the rug, right? Because this is like turning the house upside down. It's the environment of the home. It's also the opposite of a celebration. So what needs to happen to fix this has not yet happened, even though time has passed. 11:22. So it's not yet, oh, it is a year. It's almost a year. Okay, so almost a year. What can we know about what progress, if any, has been made in this year? Oh, none. This is like not committed to the right things still, and this is like battling internally in your own minds and then not expressing what's going on. It feels like each of you have a war going on in your own minds, and each of those sides of your own minds are at war with the other person's side of their minds. And each of you are not really talking about what needs to be talked about here. Queen of Cups. Five of Swords. It's almost like when I express, or when I feel like I'm about to express, there's a fight or there's an argument. It feels like there's this barrier that you can't really each get past when it comes to expressing. It feels like, how do I put this? There's trouble taking accountability for maybe not the actions per se, but like there's trouble taking accountability from your partner on the fact that, yeah, Queen of Pentacles reversed, it's not you. Your partner is having trouble taking accountability for the fact that their decisions are stemming from an internal wound. Your partner is still trying to find external things to blame for the choice that stemmed from an internal dissatisfaction with themselves. So until they get their priorities straight and get the message that what is going on is coming, the call is coming from inside the house here. So until your partner corrects the self-love wound, which, what is their self-love wound? Seven of Swords upright, Ace of Cups. They're betraying themselves by holding back love. This feels like probably a mother wound, especially because Queen of Cups came out with the Five of Swords here. So it feels like a mother wound, and for some reason there's like a victim mode attached to this mother wound. Why is there a victim mode attached? Nine of Swords reversed, Three of Swords reversed. It feels like your partner never really expressed that wound in the first place and then just kept burying it, and now almost kind of blames you in a way for them not, your partner kind of blames you in a way for you not fulfilling this weird ideal image of what your partner believed that they needed in order to express that wound finally. But at the same time, your partner never told you what they need from you to be able to do that. It's like you're expected to read the mind of your partner's wounded inner child. King of Cups, Ten of Pentacles reversed. Yeah, this is the wound. It's a very deep wound. It's like the purpose for a lot of choices beyond just what happened here. A lot of your partner's choices are stemming from this particular wound, and it's almost like your partner doesn't even know how to express what they need you to be in this scenario so that they feel safe to express the wound. But even that is making them resentful at you because they don't know how to explain to you what they need. And it's almost like you've been together so long, there's this unjust expectation that you should just figured it out by now. But like, it's nothing that you are who you've been. And it's almost like this person wanted you to eventually morph into a band-aid for this wound that they were unwilling to express to you. And that resentment steadily led to the choice that this person made. What is meant for you to do? You are still living together, but you continue to think about it. Nine of Pentacles. To get what you want, you need to... Wheel of Fortune, create movement. Temperance, create movement towards balance or towards rebalancing out the scales here. It goes back to kind of what I said in the beginning, that is there a possibility to make it work? Yes, but is it going to work if talking and expressing continues to be avoided. There's a very, very difficult conversation that needs to be had between the two of you, and neither one of you really want to have it because it feels like that's what would lead to an ultimate final decision. Look for a sign came out. Maybe you were looking for a sign to have this conversation with your partner. Remain positive is on the bottom of the deck. It doesn't have to be a negative conversation to be a hard conversation, but it is going to be a hard conversation because you need to really talk about the things that you've spent, or your partner has spent a lot of time avoiding. This is teamwork, and this is a release of something that you previously were holding on to very tightly. So it feels like you need to magnetically draw out of your partner the unpacking of this wound. Yeah. This is you and this is your partner. Confused, not sure what's going on, too much going on, thinking here and there and all over the place. You are more, I can take a deep breath and figure this out. I can hold space for you even though you hurt me. But from your perspective, it's difficult because you're trying to hold space and you're like, okay, here's the space. And your partner's like, nope, I'm good. But they need to be the one to come out. So if there's a way that you can kind of coax them to come out and open up, you need to get this person back into a state of self-love, because until they can address that wound, they're going to continue to not be in a state of self-love and hence unable to project that love onto you, because it does feel to me like your partner knows what you need right now. There's the Empress with that same card that just came out for your partner. They know what you need. They just don't know how to give it to you because they're lacking in giving themselves what they need, because they also know now that they made a decision like that, and now that, you know, it's out in the open, they know that you're aware that there's something deeper going on, and now it's like they're hiding it more. Yeah, hiding it from you in terms of the wound that they've been trying to suppress. It's almost like because of the decision and because you came up as the High Priestess, your partner's like, oh crap, like now that this is out in the open, you know that there's obviously a deeper wound that this person's been trying to cover. It's almost like they're caught red-handed with their wound that they were trying to pretend wasn't their wound, because they wanted to make everyone believe that they were stronger than something that could potentially hurt them. They don't want to admit how hurt they are by this wound, which is ironic because they wanted you to hold space to help them heal it, and they wanted you to become that perfect band-aid for it, but then also want to suppress it. So this is only going to work if your partner can open up, talk about the wound, and allow you to hold the space that you've been trying to hold the whole time. This isn't like you haven't been holding space and you're going to try holding space. This is like the space that you've been holding, they finally step into and say, okay, maybe you were right and maybe I do need to open up, type of thing. The person that your husband cheated with claimed to be pregnant with twin girls. Promised money. Today, a year later, I found out that nothing was true and she's a compulsive liar. What can we know about her? Queen of Wands reversed, Five of Swords reversed. You're absolutely right. This is like don't compete where you can't compare type energy. It seems like this person is a homewrecker. Is that commitment? I go after people who are in a state of commitment. This person's a homewrecker. What's her problem? Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit reversed. She doesn't know herself and she doesn't have what she thought she should have by now, so she just kind of fakes it in hopes that she can convince people that she has it more figured out than she does. She doesn't know who she, that's kind of probably why they connected, because she doesn't know who she is either, and she's also running from that wound. The World here, completion of a cycle. Completion of a cycle is in them. The Moon, Page of Pentacles reversed. Nothing is really manifesting under the Knight. I don't see that anything is still going on. Yeah, no, Justice and the Fool. Since he got caught, I don't feel like there's anything still going on with this person. What I want to know is, how did this woman lie to your husband and has no idea all this time until she couldn't show him the babies? What the heck? Two of Swords, Eight of Cups. She definitely was trying to use something over his head, like, I'll ruin your life or something along those lines. There was something like that used against him. Hierophant, Knight of Wands reversed. I'm wondering if she had someone else kind of backing up her story in some way, or at least had access to something that could initially convince him. He's holding up a book here, so I'm almost wondering if she got like maybe a false doctor's note or something, or like maybe not even a false one, but King of Wands, Nine of Pentacles reversed. She was trying to get something from him. It wasn't money though. What was she trying to get from him? Temperance, Five of Wands. It's almost like she was trying to initially say that she was pregnant so that he would sleep with her and not use protection so that she could get pregnant. And then that didn't work, and she had to keep up with the facade because she had already lied, and she just did it until she couldn't anymore. But to me, this is, I'm trying to lure you into getting me pregnant. So it probably started out something like, oh, I'm pregnant, come over, let's talk about it. And then he comes over and thinks she's already pregnant, so doesn't really, you know, use protection or anything. And then boom, she gets pregnant. It feels like that's what it was in the beginning. And then somehow, some way, she got something to fool him. Like, she had some kind of paperwork or something that made him believe her. Queen of Cups, Three of Cups. She has a connection to somebody that helped her get something. I mean, it could even be like maybe a friend of hers was pregnant and she got something and changed the name because the dates lined up. I don't know. It's something like that, but it does feel like he was convinced because she had shown him something. But again, it feels like the whole thing in the first place was to get him to get her pregnant after initially saying she's pregnant, which again, homewrecker energy. I wanted to know if she used any spiritual power to blind him or deceive him. Five of Cups, Eight of Pentacles reversed, Page of Wands reversed. It doesn't necessarily look like spell work or anything. It does kind of look like pity party, or kind of like luring him into feeling like he can't back away from her easily type of thing. I'm not necessarily seeing spell work, but I am seeing the Empress here. Yeah, it's like I'm using my powers of seduction to confuse you. A lot of future faking, a lot of love bombing, a lot of that type of stuff. It seems like that's what it had to do with here. I'm planning on selling my house of 19 years, which your dad helped you pick. He's now passed 4 years ago. The Emperor. Your dad, you, because this is the same card that came out for you before, nothing to worry about. My right neighbor is constantly harassing and picking fights with me and my husband. About 6 to 8 years. What's up with your neighbor? Queen of Pentacles. Your neighbor is unhappy with themselves and doesn't want to see anyone else doing well. They need to take a hard look in the mirror at themselves. There's also something about your relationship that they don't like. They're very nosy. Your neighbors are very nosy, and it almost feels like because you don't give them any ammo to let them be nosy, that's why they started not liking you. Maybe you're a little bit more private or something like that. Or at the very least, you just gave them the impression, I'm not putting up with your crap. And that made them view you as a difficult person, when in reality, you were just making sure they respected your space. Yeah, your space away from them. I want to sell. Will that be a mistake? Sell, Strength in reverse, not sell, Ten of Cups reversed. Well, Energy between King of Swords. You're doubting which action to take, but you're not going to stay happy there. It feels like the neighbors are kind of a spiritual sign that it's time to start putting wheels in motion here. Is that fair to say? Because the King upright would be action. We go back to the self-love again. Almost like you leaving is closing the chapter that has like stale or stagnant energy. Yeah, uprooting yourself, and because right now you can't really see forward. I don't feel like you should rush into doing it. Page of Cups. I feel like it would heal your inner child to get out of there. It feels like you're trapped in a space where there was a lot of trauma for you, and you're trying to see if eventually you could be okay. And it's almost like it happened when it happened because it was time for you to move on. Yeah, coming back to life and the Star. I feel like it doesn't have to be a rush, like get out of there right now, but I do feel like selling is the right decision for you. Oh. When you speak to me out loud or in your thoughts, I hear you. These are from your dad. So he's probably already given you some signs, and I would say when you see this sign, you're going to shuffle any playlist that reminds you of him or listen to the radio, and he's going to confirm my message of selling. Sorry if that was loud. Spiderweb and a teapot. Numbers 25 and 34 might be significant as well. A teapot and or a spiderweb, whichever one of them you see first out of place. Spiderweb, I know it's almost Halloween, so this would be like a spiderweb that's out of place, or like a literal spiderweb that maybe you run into. And if that doesn't happen first because it's Halloween, because you might be like, oh, is this the sign, or is it just because it's Halloween? You can also look for the tea kettle. But he's going to confirm the correct to sell message. Babies, pets, notice the spiritual realm, smiling, laughing, barking, meowing, looking around. I said it's going to be very healing for your inner child. This would be a confirmation of that. And the last one, please understand that it was my time to go. And this card matches the sky from that card. Oh, one more. When feathers appear, angels are near, you are protected. Oh, I see why he wanted that one. And the white feather as well. So he knows that you're in a difficult spot right now, but it's almost like allowing yourself to take steps forward out of the current energy may be scary and out of your comfort zone, but as you start to take those steps, you'll start to feel better. Release any guilt or blame you may feel. It is not your fault. That's what we said in the beginning, that it was not something that you did. Your dad's like, yep, that was correct. It's not your fault, and I wish you the best. This is for AL. We are looking into, you were trying to connect with your spirit guides to grow your intuition and some of your gifts more. What's their first message for you? Bigger and better experiences are coming your way. You may not be able to see it, but great things are coming together for you as you read this. Trust the process and let it unfold in divine timing. Move forward knowing that all is working out just fine. So it does feel as though you're focused on strengthening your gifts and aligning with your intuition, because that is what they've been trying to prep you to do. So it seems as though you are in alignment with that. Six of Swords, King of Cups. So this is a mix between action and emotions here, and this is a transition. So it feels like you got this reading at this time to kind of, it's like you've been trying to connect with your spirit guides, and your spirit guides were like, okay, here you go, here's your return message, right? Your return email, because they wanted to let you know that something is coming in for you. 3 and 4 of Wands, quite literally taking a step forward towards a celebration. What is coming in for you that's positive? The Moon reverse, the Hierophant, and 10 of Cups on its side. So it seems like the ultimate manifestation of what you want is not here quite yet, but you are taking steps towards it. Something is being revealed to you from a higher source here. It does feel like your gifts are being activated more thoroughly. And you're saying that you also have one of your children that's like you in terms of gifts. Tease and Sweetheart in reverse. You had a taste of these gifts before, but you had to go through a hard lesson that like took you away from the essence of yourself for some time. Yeah, Queen of Swords, Wheel of Fortune in reverse. You stopped allowing for the expression that is needed to really harbor these gifts because of something that you went through. So you got like a taste of your gifts, and then you had to go on this journey of rediscovery. It feels like a lot of that rediscovery happened through being a mom. The Empress came out as I said that. Two of Swords, Eight of Cups or Eight of Cups upright. You had to make a difficult decision to walk away from something or someone or a mindset or a type of internal dialogue. You realized that something that was happening was not serving you, and that's the moment when you got put back on the path of realignment. So it does feel like you worked really hard to be able to be in the position to go where you're about to go. Ace of Cups, you're unlocking your holy grail here. So you've been told that you're an indigo child and one of your children is like you but different. What does that mean? The Lovers reverse, like you but different. King of Swords reverse, Temperance reverse. Not quite the same. One of you is more internal gifts while one of you is meant more to share and express them. You, Hangman reverse, your child. The Emperor reverse. It feels like you're the one who goes first and leads the way for your child. The Emperor reverse is like you're creating a safe space to harbor your child's gifts, but not necessarily guiding them. It's like self-guidance that's going to come from that, like being an old soul. But at the same time, it does feel like you are meant to be using these gifts in a much bigger way than you have been able to thus far. But it feels like you need to completely strengthen your own before you work on integrating that with your child. And that's not because anything's wrong with doing it. It's just that there's this feeling of like you worked really hard to deserve your own spotlight. And you went through a lot and had to shift priorities and perspectives so many times to put down all the swords that were put in your back and find a way in from the cold. It's like you could right now focus on how to increase your child's gifts, or you could kind of spend a little bit of time in your own. It's almost like before you start to integrate your child's gifts, you're meant to give yourself time in the spotlight for yourself, and the increase of your gifts that way will shine the light on your child's ability to self-guide as well. No competition. It's holding space for one another here. So I do think that both of you have gifts that are going to be strengthened. They're not all the way where they can be yet, for sure. What are these gifts? Mirror. Okay, so you both have the same gifts, you and your child, Crystal Child here. You're here to help uplift the planet of harsh energy, bringing forth healing and peace, and also assist humanity in soul growth and evolution. And see how she has like black tears? You're quite literally turning your pain into purpose here. And this card isn't from that deck, but it just fell out. Your greatest test will be how you handle people who mishandled you. So we need to know about that. Nine of Cups. Page of Pentacles. It's interesting because it seems as though you're going to be doing the same thing for your child that you're going to be doing for others who kind of maybe look down at you or tried to make you believe that you couldn't do certain things. It's like you are meant to lead by example, and your child will be the first testament of that. It's almost like you develop your gifts, you strengthen your gifts, you step into your gifts, and simply just you doing that awakens, because we got mirror, so you doing that awakens those same things in your child, and that shows you, oh, that's all I needed to do was lead by example. So you start to do that, and you start to see the impact it has in the world as well. Feels like that's a big part of what's going on here. Page of Cups reversed. That's the leading by example, not directing, but leading and having your child follow in your footsteps. So what else what else does your guides want you to know about your intuition and strengthening your gifts? You were locked out before in order to protect you against something. What is that something? Yeah, there's the protection. It's almost like you couldn't have full access to your gifts because they're too powerful, and it's almost like your guides wanted to make sure that you were really ready to understand them fully before you committed to them fully. So there was a lot of trial and error you had to go through so that you could learn your own strength. The Devil. Trial and error that you had to go through so you could learn your own strength. What exactly prepared you to use your gifts? The Fool and Six of Cups, because you had these in childhood and yours were shut down, either through situations or purposely people brought you away from your gifts. But it's interesting that you're literally coming full circle, because you're harboring your child's gifts. You're helping your child with their gifts by simply leading by example, when if you think about it, that's all you would have needed back then to foster your gifts. But there was this divine protection of like holding back power until you're ready to really understand it. What do we need to know about that? Queen of Cups, Three of Cups reversed, Eight of Pentacles reversed. This is like being in full energetic alignment with your feelings and emotions. This is the independence. You had to learn that the only person you really need is your connection to your higher self. You don't need any external validation or support or anything in that regard. And that had to happen before you could fully commit here. What do your guides want you to know about what needs to happen in your life to strengthen your gifts? Four of Cups, that would be a connection to the divine. But this is the after tarot, so usually the cup is coming out of the cloud, but he's holding it, spilling it out. So you already know the connection is there with the divine. You just need to figure out how exactly to use it. We have the Ten of Wands, but he's sitting down with the wand instead of carrying the wand. So this isn't about having to go through any more experiences in order to activate anything. This is like just integrating and learning from the experiences that you already had. Ace of Swords is in reverse. So there's something still from a lesson that you experienced that you're not all the way seeing clearly yet. Nine of Cups reversed, Seven of Swords, Temperance, Queen of Wands reversed. Oh. No, someone purposely tried to block your gifts out. Queen of Wands is reversed with Temperance. This is like, I don't want you to socially show your connection to the divine. This is sabotage or betrayal to keep you from getting what's rightfully yours or what you want here. Why? Judgment. Judgment, King of Pentacles reversed. Someone didn't want you to succeed or be in your action-oriented forward progress because they didn't want you to find out what they had done against you. What did someone do against you that they didn't want you to find out? Five of Swords, Knight of Wands reversed, trying to block your passion or block your gifts because they didn't feel like they could compete with you. Is this in childhood? Ace of Cups reversed, took away your holy grail in childhood. It feels like someone, when you were a child, decided to block your knowledge of your gifts from you. And interestingly enough, that's why it's coming full circle, victory with your child, where you're just going to lead by example and show your child the way through the darkness here. It feels like you leading by example and having, like, just aligning with your gifts, healing, and just like kind of showing the way. You just simply doing that, but not instructing, just being. Yeah, Page of Wands helps your child to do the same, and then you can kind of share that with the rest of the world. Like, this is how the alignment kind of happens. It feels like you're meant to be a teacher of something, honestly. What are you meant to be teaching? Page of Swords, Four of Swords reversed, Five of Pentacles. Basically, how to resurrect yourself from feeling at your lowest through expression, through transmuting the energy. It almost feels like this is like master magician type energy that people can't compete with. Seven of Wands reversed. People didn't know what to think. Eight of Wands reversed. They didn't know what to think of your power, so they tried to delay you from figuring it out until they could figure it out first, and they just could not figure it out. A release of a connection of something unfulfilling. It almost feels like a failed karma swap. Somebody's priorities were not in the right place. So what do we need to know about going forward? Nine of Wands, Ten of Swords. You're very close to some kind of breakthrough, but there's something about a previous lesson that is the key to unlock this door going forward. What is that key? Communicate clearly. Some kind of expression. Within the next few weeks. It's like a family that's all running around outside with angels. Is it fair to say that sometime in the next few weeks your angels are going to give you almost like, oh, I said a key. Next few weeks, communicate clearly. Is it fair to say that this is supposed to be a warning to you that within the next few weeks your gifts are going to increase? Yeah, Seven of Pentacles, because you stayed committed. Ace of Pentacles reverse, Wheel of Fortune reverse. You, up until this point, experienced a lot of false starts to see if you would keep the faith. And since you did keep the faith, it's almost like the floodgates all open at once. Queen of Pentacles reversed and the Chariot. It's not something that you're causing to happen, or not anything you still need to do or put the work in for. You already earned it. This is two opposing forces working together. It feels like within the next few weeks, your guides are going to almost like just turn on one of your gifts or turn up one of your gifts, and you're gonna be like, what the heck just happened? It's not anything that just happened by happenstance. It's something that you already earned and put the work in for. What are the wounds that you had to look at? Rejection. The wound of rejection. Dismissing opinions too quickly can lead to neglecting important information. By taking time, the truth will become apparent and you will view the situation in different light. Yeah, there's still something that it's like looking back through something that you felt like was punishment, but it was actually divine redirection. That was divine protection. Yes, suffering on the bottom of the deck and shock. Something that you did not see coming when it happened, and it's almost like you don't want to think back to it because it triggers a lot of emotions, but in those emotions, that's where the key is. And once you put the key in the door, it unlocks this message that's very direct from your guides. The Sun. It unlocks a message that's very direct from your guides, like an instant major download type thing. What kind of energy is in the download? Okay, that's direct. As you release things not meant for you, you will be brought new ones that better align with your magic. And that looks like little confetti at the top, like a celebration. And we start it with the celebration. So it feels like you're on the verge of, It's almost reminding me of like, have you ever seen the movie where, I don't remember which movie this was, but like, I think it might have been a Disney movie. I don't know. It was like a little girl, and all of a sudden, like, her gifts turned on, or like there was like, all of a sudden she could like see shadows, or see, it reminds me of that. It's like all of a sudden you're just going to start to hear or see or like pick up on things that you weren't picking up on before. And it's because you finally went back and realized that something wasn't a blockage, it was redirection. Knight of Wands reverse, redirection. You weren't supposed to move too passionately in that direction because there was something for you over here. What is the key that's coming to you? Fast communication. Your guides are going to be very direct about it. Ace of Wands, the Fool. A fresh, new, passionate start, taking a leap of faith on yourself. Strength behind it. You're to connect with your guides about your intuition and gifts. They're about to connect back with you. You've been sending out messages to them, and they're like, okay, keep the faith, keep the faith, keep the faith. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Keep wondering, keep exploring, keep studying or looking into certain things. And as you kept doing it, they're like, okay, we're getting ready to give you the message back, but we're going to give you a message before we give you the message, which is probably why you got this reading, why you won the reading. Your guides were like, okay, you've kept the faith, the Hierophant, you've kept the faith, and now we're gonna kind of show you why you didn't get the adventure before, but as soon as you release, that door opens for you. So very soon it's gonna feel like out of nowhere your gifts just like someone, you know, like the circuit breakers in the house, it's like the lights are off but they've been off for a while, so it just kind of, that's how it is. And then all of a sudden someone goes in the basement and turns the circuit breaker on and all the lights go on and you're like, oh, I can see now. That's what I feel like is getting ready to happen for you. Let me see which one fell on the floor, because it feels like that was directly your guides, like this is the card. Choice is the most powerful tool you have. Every choice you make Choice is the most powerful tool you have. Every choice you make shuts some doors, but also opens several doors, bringing new experiences into your life. At any given time, you can change the direction of your life. You are only one choice away. They definitely threw that on the floor for the reason of that. Let me see what quotes they have for you. I'm feeling 3 of these cards. Weakness leads to strength. Fear leads to courage. Foolishness leads to wisdom. So long as you choose to grow from your mistakes and not try to outrun their consequences. That's exactly what you did. And that looks like someone looking in the mirror. This is quite literally an opening up of your gifts or channels because you didn't quit on yourself. Some people won't be able to love you the way you wanted them to. Compassion creates understanding. This is the situation you need to look back on. Someone was unable to see your worth or value, and it made you question your own worth or value, and that's that little bit of blockage that's blocking part of the light that needs to be shown on this code. And once you scrub off that little piece of someone else's darkness that you were trying to hold on to study to make sure that there wasn't something you still needed to heal, you rub off that darkness and it shows you the rest of that code. And once you see the rest of the code, that gift really unlocks for you. Take care of your thoughts when you are alone. Take care of your words when you are with other people. And look, it's like the third eye gem there. So your third eye is what's really opening up and turning on here. Confirmation. You are worth it, been worth it, will forever be worth it. Don't negotiate your value with anyone. That's a confirmation of that's what you need to look back on. Some people won't be able to see your value, but compassion creates understanding. And I wish you the best.